Welcome. My name is Ratan, and this is your fifth pre-class video on Java. In this small pre-class video, we will discuss about strings, string in Java, how we create the strings, and some of the APIs of the string class, various methods of the string class. Then we will discuss about arrays and some other concepts. So let's get started. So first, we are going to discuss about the string class. So in Java, string is an object that represent a sequence of characters. In Java, there is a predefined class called string. This class belongs from java.lang package. Lang package, which is the default package. And this string class is used to create a string object. This class is basically used to create what? String object in Java. Now, in Java, we use basically double quote to create a string object. Let's say one example. I'm creating one string object, string str1 is equal to, this string is a class, predefined class in Java. This str1 is a variable. And how I'm creating the object? By using double quote. So let me create that. Welcome to Java. So this will be treated as a string object in Java. It is a sequence of character, and which will be represented as a string object. So string is a predefined class in Java, and using double quote, we have created the string object. Now, there are different ways to create the string object. So let me show that in ID. So this is my main class, and here I'm creating the string object, string str, let's say 1 is equal to, and using double quote, I'm creating the string object. Welcome to Java. So string object got created, and if you print this str1, what you are going to get here, you are going to get this entire string on the console. Let me run this one and see the output. So here we got the output like that. Now there are two ways to create the string object in Java. This is the first way, and this is a shortcut way. We can create the string object by using new operator as well. Let's say that string str2 is equal to new string, and then in a constructor of this string, we are going to write something like that. That is, welcome to Java. So this is the second way to create the string object. And if you print this str2 as well, you are going to get the same output. You are going to get this output of this one, the second string object. So this is the first string object. This is the shortcut way to create a string class object. And there is another way to create the string class object by using new operator. There is a one difference between both way, whether if you create the object by this way also, and if you create the object by this way also, you have some differences there. We are going to discuss about this difference. Just hold on. So there is basically one difference between these two ways of creating the string class object. Let me show that. First, what I'm going to do that, I'm creating one other string class object by this way, and I'm giving this str2. So string str1, str2, and let me give this name as str3. If you notice here, and let me just trim down this text as well. I'm giving only small text. Now, if I will show that by this way, system.out.println str1 double equal to str2. Can you guess what the output will come? If you run this program, the output will come here what? True. Let me show that. So it is coming true. And here, since I have printed this str2, let me remove this line. So that's why this line was printed. But here we got the output true. Here I have created the two objects, str1 and str2. So two objects seems like two objects got created. Two time I have defined the variable. But if I'm comparing str1 equal to str2, it is printing 2. That means what? Both pointing to the same object. Both str1 and str2 pointing to the same object. Now, what I'm going to do that even str3 having the same value over here. And if I try to print here like this, we copy this one and print this str3. str1 equal to str3. This time, if you run this program, you will see that it has printed first time true, second time false. Why like this? Actually, whenever we create the string by using new operator, there's a different approach, and here is a different approach. Generally, whenever we create a string, whenever our JVM encounters this double quote, it's understand it has to create one string object in the memory. And by using double quote only, we create the string object. The difference between the new operator by using this way and here this way. In this case, only one object is created in the memory. But in this case, two objects created in the memory. Let me show that in a diagrammatical way. So imagine this is our RAM. And as we already discussed that this RAM, imagine there is a two sections there. One is a context area and one is a heap area. Now in the RAM, in the context area, first what will happen? All the statics will be loaded. Since main is a static, main got loaded over here. And from the main first statement, our program execution will start. So inside the main, the thing is written here, str1 is equal to hello. So string str1 equal to, and now what will happen? Whenever JVM founds this double quote over here. Now inside the RAM, inside the heap area, in somewhere in the memory, there is a one kind of special area is known as SCP area. That SCP area is known as what? String constant pool area. We already discussed that this area is what? Your context area. This is your context area. And this is your heap area. So inside somewhere in the heap area, there is a special area is there, will be created, and it is maintained by the JVM. That area is known as what? Your SCP, or you can say string constant pool area. String constant pool area. Whenever JVM will found this double quote over here, what JVM will gonna do that? It will gonna create the string object inside this SCP area. So it will gonna create one object with the character that is hello. So with the text hello, one object is created in the SCP area, and this address will be pointed to this str1. Now next time what will happen? Actually this thing will happen in this line. Now when control come to this statement, now again string str2. So what will happen here? String str2 equal to, now when again JVM founds this double quote and hello. So it will check with this same object and the same character, whatever is there any object is there or not inside this SCP area. If it is there, JVM will not create another object if it is having the same character, if this object is already present. So inside this SCP area, there is already one object is there which contains same character hello. So our JVM will not create another object. Instead, what it will gonna do that, it will give the same object address to this str2 as well. Now here str1 and str2 pointing to the same object which is created in the SCP area. So this has happened here. That's why if I printed here str1 and str2, since both are pointing to the same object, it has given true. Now, when I come to this, when the JVM will come to this statement, string str3. At this point, what will happen? String str3 is equal to. Now here new operator came. New operator in the sense what will happen? Inside the heap area, that is the main heap area, one another object will be, one memory space will be reserved. And what will happen? For this string class, this memory space will be reserved. And whatever the text over here I have written, this object is already created. Hello object is already there in the SCP area. The text from this SCP area will gonna copy it from in this memory space. That means here this text will gonna copy in this object in this memory space, and that object is given to the str3. This will happen when we create the string object using new operator. So basically our string object is created over here only, and inside this one another memory space will be reserved. New operator purpose is what? Always it will reserve us some new memory space inside the heap area, and in that memory space the entire object will be copied, and then after the address of this memory space is given to str3. So if I have printed here str1 and str3, so since str1 having the different object address, str3 is having the different object address, that's why it has given false. Now let me create that another string object by string, let's say that str4, again using new operator, and this time I'm creating the text as welcome. Now this time what will gonna happen here? First string str4, so this variable will be created over here, string str4 equal to, and then new string. New string, one memory space will be reserved in somewhere in the memory. Somewhere in the memory, one inside the main heap area, one memory space will be reserved for this string class. Now when control come to here, double quote is there. That means your JVM understand this object we need to create in the SCP area. That means here one object will be created with the text welcome. And this text will gonna be copied inside this area. And then address of this memory space will be given to the str4. That's why I told that when we create the string object using new operator, basically two objects is created in the memory. One object in the SCP area, string constant pool area, another object is in the heap area. But when we create the object using double quote, so only in the SCP area object is created. So we use this approach only to create the string class object. I hope you got the clarity about that, how the string object we create in Java. Now, let's see that some of the operations in the string. So string is string is a class. String is a class. There are lots of, and it is a predefined class. There are lots of methods are there in the string class. Lots of method, lots of constructor are also there in the string class. We can see that. We can see how many constructor and how many methods are there by searching in the you can just type in the Chrome, or you can open the Java docs like that. Just type here string class in Java, and you can open the official website like from Oracle docs, and here is your, this is a 7 version, but you can go to the latest version as well. So here is some definition of the string class. A string is a final class. What is a final? We are going to talk later. Final in the sense nobody can extend this string class, and it is extending the object class. This object class again we are going to discuss later. And this actually this object class, I guess it discussed already in the maybe it will be there in the 5th class or 6th class only, and it has implemented some interfaces. What are the serializable and comparable? Later we are going to discuss. But for the time being, this string is a final class. And if you see that, move here, and you will see that there are various constructors are there of the string class. So by using various way, you can create the string class object. By passing the byte array also, you can create the string class object. You can pass some char array also, you can create the, if you have char array is there, so you can create the string class object as well. We will see in a moment. And there are various methods are there. These methods are very, very important. So string class is mostly used class in Java, and the methods of the string class, let me show that some of the methods which are the very, very important methods. So we can use those methods to perform our various operations. Let's say that for 2 lowercase and 2 uppercase is there. I guess you know the what is the purpose of this 2 uppercase and 2 lowercase. It will convert your string in the 2 upper and 2 lowercase. You can substring. You can cut a string from a particular string. You can check whether a string is started with a particular character or not. It has return type is Boolean. Return type is mentioned here, Boolean. Now you can split a string with a particular expression or particular character. We are going to see this, and it will return the string array. Then you can replace a particular string. You can see lots of operation. You can find the length of a string. It will return the integer. Then you can see check the index of a particular character. You can see them other methods like equals and ignore case. Equals ignore case start with concat method and caret. So there are different methods out there. We are gonna use various methods of the string class in our classes. So let me show that some other interesting fact about the string class. So let me show that some of the method I'm going to show you to you. So let's say that str1, this is a string object, and if you hit the dot button, and you will see that the IDE has given the suggestion how many methods you can call. How many methods? Whatever methods we have seen that our Java docs, these are the methods. And what are the return type? Also, you can access over here. You can see over here that whatever the return types are there. So these are the various methods are there. So let me show that. For example, I'm calling one method called concat. And let me change this as welcome. And concatenating I'm here. What is that? To Java. Now, what will happen? It will gonna concat this string to this welcome. And now if I try to print here system.out.println str1. And if I print that one, guess what the output I will get? I should get the welcome to Java. Let me run this and see here. And see here what it has printed. It has printed just welcome. It has not printed welcome to Java. Why like this? Why like that? I have called one method concat to append some string over there, but it has not performed the concatenation. It has still printed the welcome only. Why like this? This is a very, very important reason why it is doing like that. Remember, string is one kind of immutable object. Immutable object in the sense, once the object is created, that object is logged. You cannot modify this object in entire lifetime of your Java application. That means once this object is created, you cannot modify this object. You cannot modify this object. This object is logged. If you want to perform any method that will, if you try to modify this object, and if you call any method on the string class, what it will gonna do that, it will going to modify that one, but it will gonna append this text over here, but it will gonna return the another string. It will not gonna do the modification in the same object. Even it will gonna create a new string object. It will gonna create a new string object and return that string object. So concat method has returned another string object whose value is welcome to Java. Since I have not holded that value object, that object will go to the garbage. So I need to hold that value string str2. Now This str2, if you print that one, it will gonna print welcome to Java. The modification happened, but it has returned to the another object. This object is not gonna be changed here because string is an immutable object. Any of that means any text, if you have created that object, you cannot do any modification. If you do any modification, and if the modification happened, then it will gonna return that method which will perform any modification, and it will return the brand new string object. So here str1, if you print that one, it will print the welcome. And if you print str2, this time it will gonna print welcome to Java. So see here, this is the way. So any method, if you're calling on the string object, not only the concat, you can see that there are various methods are there. Let's say that dot, and see here, two uppercase, two lowercase, concat, two string, two lowercase, whatever methods are there. If you call that, so, and if these methods will gonna do any modification, let's say that I'm calling two lowercase or two uppercase. So two uppercase. So what will happen? Your original string will not gonna be modified, but it will return the another object, and that is your changed value will be there. Let me run that. So first time it will see the only welcome, the normal text. Second one, it will print welcome in the uppercase. This is a very, very important thing you need to understand that about this string class. So once the string object is created, you cannot modify that object. It will be locked, and if you do any modification in that, then it will return the another object. Now another example here. Now if these methods will do any modification, then only it will return the brand new object. But what will happen? Imagine this welcome is already in the uppercase, and still I'm calling to uppercase method. What will happen? There will be no any modification will be there. No modification will be there, and still it will gonna return that object. But guess what? Since this object is already there in the pool, it will not gonna create a new object. Both str1 and str2 will point to the same object. Let me show that. So str1 equal to str2, and if I run this, so you can see here both will return true. But if you do any modification, this method will perform any modification, then it will return a brand new object, and that will be the false. Here it will be the false. Now another important thing regarding this string, you can call various method and you can play around this string object. So lots of interesting methods are there. We will see in our upcoming session. Now the thing is that next, suppose that I want to perform concatenation. This plus operator we can use for the concatenation. Now I have a string, let's say welcome. Let me create that one, hello. And if I print like this, system.out.println str1 plus 10 plus 10. Guess here what the output I will get here. Now listen, this plus operator will act as a operator overloading here. That means what? If both operands are number, then it will do the arithmetic operation. It will do the addition. But if at least one operand is a string object, then the entire evaluate expression will return the string object. That means for this plus operator, if any operand is a string, then if other operand is whatever, maybe the number, maybe the object, or maybe anything, then the entire result of this expression will become a string only. So here the output will become what? Here it will give the output like this. Hello 10 10, because control will go from the left. So here hello plus 10, it will become a string, and then again 10, it will append it to the string, and then entire expression will be the string. But if I will do like this, 10 plus str1, now the output will become what? First from left to right it will go there. So 10 and 10 20, and plus hello, so 20 hello will be the output. Let me show that. Like that. After that one also you can This is the common sense. If you want to give the preference, even though after that str is there, you can put that in a bracket, and then you can make them as a single unit and you can execute, and then the result operation will be accordingly. Now, this is what the plus operator and how the string object will gonna work in that. Since we have seen that a string is an immutable object, you cannot perform any modification. If you do any modification in that, then that method will return the brand new another object. If you need the mutability, that means if you want to do any modification in the same object, you don't need that multiple object. In that case, we have string buffer and string builder class is there in our java.lang package. Java.lang package. These two classes are there. Similar to the string, they are also belongs from java.lang package. String buffer and string builder. These both classes, if you want to perform any modification on the same object, if you need the mutability behavior of a string, then you should go with the string buffer or a string builder class. It will give some enhanced performance if you want to do some modification in the string object. Both classes is similar way. That means it will only slight difference is there. This class performance is little bit faster than string buffer. Both classes purpose is same, but this string builder is little bit faster than string buffer because the methods of the string buffers are synchronized. They are thread safe. So what is the thread safety? In a future, we are going to discuss about that. And string builder, the methods of the string builders are not thread safe. So that it is little bit faster than that one. Now, other part we are going to discuss in our live session, or later we are going to discuss about that. Let me show that one string builder example. So string builder belongs from lang package. Let's say SB is equal to new string builder. And here you can create any string object. Let's say that welcome. Now, if I need to do any modification, if you want, you can do that one. SB dot, there is some methods are there. You can see append method is there. Then there are lots of overloaded append methods are there. Then compare to, delete, index, insert, a number of method supports are there. Reverse method. So lots of methods are there. So suppose that I want to append something. So append, and here you can append another string. Let's say that to Java. And now if you print that system.out.println SB, now what will happen? You are going to get the exact object and there will be no any different object. Same object modification will be happened there. So welcome to Java. Either you can print this SB or you can simply call this toString method to convert anything to the string. Anything, this toString method, if you call on any object, that object will be converted to the string and that string will be printed over here. So this is about the string buffer and string builder. Now let's talk about the next concept, that is array. So what is the array basically? Array is in Java, array is treated as an object. Why we take the array? Suppose if you want to define too many variables, I want to hold 10 numbers or 10 student marks, I need to hold that. So if I want to hold only one student marks, I can take one variable. But if I want to hold 2 student marks, I can take that marks 1, marks 2. But imagine if I want to hold 10 student or 50 student marks, then it is not, there is no any, we should not take the 10 or 50 variables. Instead of that, we can take only one variable of array type. And this is the way to create the array in Java. Remember, array in the different language like JavaScript and C, and array in Java, purpose is same, but slight differences are there. In the structure, in the memory management, some differences there. This is the way to create the array. And in Java, arrays is treated as an object. So it is a one special type of object. Array is a one special type of object whose class is non-existence. Now, if I try to print here system.out.println marks, so it will gonna print what? The address of an object. It will not going to print the base address or something like that. It will print the array object. Let me show that. So this is the address of a array object. How this array object will be created in the memory? Let me show that in a diagram. And by the way, this is the syntax of creating the array. We have to give the size. Without giving the size, we cannot create the array in Java. And once we specify the size, this size is fixed. We cannot increase and decrease this size in runtime. So once you give the size, this size will be fixed, and we cannot create the or decrease the size of this array at runtime. Here we have created integer array. Integer array. The literal meaning of this in one is what? Here we have created 5 int variable. 5 int variable. Now how this line will be created and what is the memory representation of this object? Let me show that. So in the main method, this first line is there, that is int marks. So int, and this square bracket is there, marks. Whenever this square bracket will come, JVM understand it will gonna create, it need to create one object in the heap area. So what it will gonna do, it will gonna create one object in the heap area. And in this object, it will gonna create 5 integer variable, 5 integer variable. So it will gonna create 5 integer variable inside this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And each variable name will become what? The first one will become marks of 0. Marks of 0. This will be the first variable. And guess what? Whenever inside any object, whenever object will be created, the variable will be initialized with their default value. So each value will be initialized with the default value. So since it's the marks is the integer type, so it will be initialized with the default value 0. And this second variable will become marks of 1. It will also be initialized with default value 0. Next one like that, marks 2, marks 3, and marks 4. Marks of 4, which will gonna also initialize with the 0. So all the variable will be initialized with the 0. And there will be one non-static variable also will be created inside this array object. The name of this non-static variable is length, whose value will be the size of this array. So that is the 5. This is the length is not a method, it is a variable. So this is the object will be created, and the address of this object will be given to the marks variable. That's why if I printed this marks, so it has printed the address of this memory area. That means that object. If I want to access the first element, I need to access a marks of 0. Marks of 0, that means the first element I have access. That means first variable. And the default value is how much? It is 0 only. So if I run this program, it will gonna run and it will show that 0 only. So it has printed the 0. Now, if I try to print here, let's say that 5 or 6. So I want to access the 6th element from this array, but our size is what? 5 only. And I want to access 7th element because the array element will start from 0th index, and I'm trying to access the 6th element. So if I want to access any array element beyond its size, so there will be no any compile time problem. Our program will be compiled successfully. But if you run this program, you are gonna get a runtime exception called array index out of bound exception. You can see here array index out of bound exception if you try to access any array element beyond its size. So this is the way how the array will be represented in the memory. I hope you got the clarity about that. Some other interesting thing you can see on a next session. Thank you for watching this session. Thank you.